I'm going to record. Okay, I am so excited that you all have joined tonight, and I know that you all are busy. You could have done lots of other things tonight, but I'm so glad that you decided to take an hour out of your time and just learn a little bit more about how you can take care of your health naturally and really another, like it says, learn another notch in your tool belt of health. So we'll go ahead and get started here. If you guys don't know me, a lot of you do, but some of you don't. My name is Carrie Cootie. I'm a pharmacist, and I am a natural health and business coach. So I actually just left my full-time pharmacy job not too long ago to do this full-time pretty much. I still work a few days at the pharmacy, but this is where my passion is. I love educating other people, you know, and just meeting them where they're at, whether that be, you know, they're really trying to start from, you know, zero and just kind of revamp their whole life, or whether they already have a pretty natural lifestyle, they just need some other tools to use. You know, I love helping people exactly where they're at. I'm a gold leader in doTERRA, the company that we'll talk a little bit more about today. I'm a Christian, first and foremost, and, you know, he really brought this into my life at the perfect time. You know, I was getting to where I just knew there was something more for me rather than just a 9-to-5 job at the pharmacy. So he really brought doTERRA into my life at the perfect time, of course. And anything, you know, he basically leads my life. I pray about what direction he wants for me every single day. So he's my, you know, number one. I'm also a wife and a mama. I have 2 little babies. I have a almost 4-year-old girl and a 1-year-old little boy. So in this webinar, we will be looking at the reasons why I take a more natural approach, why you might also want to care too, to take a natural approach, why oils are a key tool in your natural life, and a few basic steps to incorporating them. So what do I believe? I believe that modern medicine is used when needed. You know, of course, I'm a pharmacist. I went, you know, and studied for years, studied all the, you know, all there is to know about medicine pretty much. And, you know, I think that there's definitely a time and place for modern medicine, but I don't think it should be the thing that we turn to first. I think that essential oils are one of the first steps that we can take, not the last. I think that God designed our bodies to heal themselves. I truly believe that if we give our body what it really needs, you know, whole nutritious foods, you know, exercise, the right supplements, and of course essential oils are a great tool, that our body can really thrive and really we can live the way we're supposed to live. And most people really don't know how great they can feel. A lot of people get stuck in, you know, just having different aches and pains. They just get used to it. I don't really think they know that, you know, you don't have to live like that. There are certain things that you can do that really make a huge difference in your health. And, you know, we'll talk about several of those today, but essential oils are definitely one of the main ways that I really feel, you know, the best that I've ever felt, really. So a little bit about my journey. I really chose this picture because, you know, I feel like this captures me. You know, I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been. I feel the best that I've ever felt. And I truly believe that it's because I started my essential oil journey 3 years ago, and I've changed a lot since then. I was a pretty healthy person before, but I do feel like it has definitely led me down the path to where I am today, which is, I feel, a very good place. And I like I said, I feel great. So starting way back, I didn't really grow up in a natural home, but I definitely grew up in a home to where my mom always had dinner on the table. You know, it was made with love. You know, she always made sure that we, you know, felt safe and loved and just had a great, you know, home atmosphere that way. And I feel like that really shaped who I am today. And I put a high priority on preparing my family's meals and really making sure that they get the right nutrition. And, you know, I knew when I had kids that I really wanted to kind of, you know, make sure that I provided that for them. But I also wanted to provide, you know, like a non-toxic home too. You know, that was really something that was important to me. But when I had my first daughter, you know, I didn't know anything about essential oils. So I tried to try different products that were, you know, better than maybe some of the rest, but I never really felt great about it. You know, I just always kind of knew that there was something else out there that I just, you know, I just didn't know about yet. So that's kind of how I found essential oils. I was on the internet. I was, following different health blogs and whatnot, and just came across the right person that introduced them to me. But, that's when I really feel like that I found that missing piece, and I've definitely been able to transform my health and also the health of my family as well. And so, we're basically living in a world now that our babies live in a very toxic environment. And I, when I started looking at this more, it was really very apparent to me that I needed to take some steps in order to really, provide that home that I'd always been wanting to. And we're really a human experiment because, a lot of the chemicals and things that are used in cleaners and self-care products and anything like that, even our food, they haven't been studied, and we don't really know what they're going to do to us. So, I don't really want to be an experiment for something that, I don't really think is that safe anyway. I don't want to see, just wait around and see what is it going to do to me. I'm going to stay far away from those things and really try to, put in my body, on my body, the best things that I know are out there. And it is said that the air inside our house is 5 times more toxic than the air outside. And to me, that really says a lot, because sometimes the air is polluted and doesn't really seem that fresh to me either. So that must mean that the air inside of our homes are extremely toxic. And this is a major awakening time for us, I feel, and specifically women. And, of course, moms being the main probably people on this call, is because, we really have control over what we bring in our house. We're the ones out there buying groceries. We're getting products to clean our house with. We're buying, lotions and different self-care products such as that. And so we really determine what comes into our home. And I really love the quote. It says, "When sleeping women wake, mountains will move." And I feel like, when I kind of awoke and found this whole new journey to be on, a lot of things started changing for the better. And I truly feel like anybody on this call that's listening, anybody can take matters into their own hands and really get the information they need. And a lot of things will definitely change for the better. So this is a little health check-in to just kind of, remind you, like, why did you make time out of your schedule to be on this call? There's a lot of different things that essential oils can help with, and these are kind of 3 of the different categories: physical, spiritual, and emotional. And so just take a moment just to think, what area would you like to sort of, do better in? And like it says at the bottom of the screen, perfection is not the goal, progression is. Because I'm not perfect, nobody on this call is perfect. I'm constantly learning about different things I can, do better or change or whatever. It's not about being perfect at all. It's about starting where you are and just taking small steps, large steps sometimes, just taking steps toward being, doing better in overall in general. So just to discuss a little more, where is our healthcare going? I feel that this is our greatest concern. I feel like when I see people that come to the pharmacy that have 20 prescription medications, I know that something is not right. I don't really feel like it's just not doing us any good. Look at America and where we're kind of headed. Nobody, if we don't take a great look and see what is causing all these sickness and what is causing people to be on that many medications at one time, nothing is ever going to change. We need to be trying to figure out how we can put our health care back in our own hands, because I know that I want to turn to the things that I have in my home first before, I go to, somebody else and get their opinion. Not that I don't want their opinion, but, I just want to make sure that I've done all I can do pretty much. I want to take my own health care back in my hands. I don't want to wait to see what's going to happen and in what road I might have to go down. So how can we truly take care of our bodies in a way to let them thrive is really the reason, to share this information and to go on this journey. So please know, before we go any further, I'm not a medical doctor. And, I'm just a natural health educator. So I teach others how to enable their body to heal itself. I'm not proclaiming that any of these oils are going to heal anything on your body. I believe that they give your body the tools it needs to heal itself. The things that we'll discuss are all things that I've used personally and can attest to. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know personally, and I'm not going to, I'm only going on based on the truth. And, I would never sell anything or say anything that is not is not that. I value modern medicine and its place in our world. You know, I believe that these essential oils and natural health can be used in conjunction with modern medicine, and that it can be a great marriage. But, you know, we have to kind of look outside the box sometimes to see that. So the business of pharmacy, you know, I used to be in the business of pharmacy, but actually, you know, well, I guess I still am, but it's, to me, you know, it's not where my heart lies. It's not where my passion lies. Because like I said, when I see people come in the pharmacy, I desperately want to tell them there is a better way. You know, I understand you might have to be on 1 or 2 things, but 20, I mean, I don't think that's okay. I feel like we're getting so desensitized to, we'll just take another pill for that. You know, it's just easier to do this, easier to do that. But is that really the best way? You know, today health is really defined as an absence of disease, but it's really all about getting past the current hurdle and not really truly healing. So you're never going to get to the real cause or the root issue. And this truly creates chaos in the body. You know, we're not designed to intake as much synthetic things as we do. And we have a huge problem. You know, our body just doesn't know what to do with all these synthetic things that we put in it. And that's where you get all these disease and all these problems. It stems from that. And really, it started back in around 1970. It's when, you know, the pharmaceutical industry really started to vamp up. You know, you really didn't hear a lot about, you know, pharmaceuticals. They might have been on 1 or 2 things, but you didn't see it on TV. And it wasn't marketed to the mass population back then. But the head guy at Merck, which is one of the main pharmaceutical companies, he actually wanted drugs to be viewed, you know, on the TV, just like chewing gum or just like, you know, anything that's advertised on TV. You know, we see commercials all the time, and that's really only in the United States. A lot of other countries don't allow that. But, you know, this guy at Merck, he really wanted to make drugs for healthy people so that everyone would want and need them. And I really believe he's done a great job, because we are a pill nation. You know, I mean, really, it's crazy, but we're running in the wrong direction. When I see statistics like 1 in 3 women goes to the ER for an overdose, and that's not talking about, you know, heavy drugs like meth or crack or something like that. This is talking about prescription drugs. When I see, you know, our kids are one of the main populations that are addicted to pharmaceutical drugs. I mean, to me, that's not okay. So I think that these things are things that we need to be aware of, and we need to kind of, you know, just take a strong look at. And I really feel like, you know, using essential oils and using natural health is really going back to my roots, because that's where pharmacy began. You know, they didn't used to have modern medicine and different pharmaceutical drugs. They really only had things in nature to turn to. And I'm sure they were a whole lot healthier back then, you know, and obviously, I think Noah was like 900, so I think they lived a lot longer for sure. Okay, so just a little more on that topic. Basically, you know, the average newborn contains 287 toxins at birth. And that's, you know, we can't really control that. That's just what they're born into these days. And, you know, 180 of those are linked directly to cancer. And it's just scary, you know, as a mom, it really is. And, you know, that's when you just try to do the best you can with what you have. You know, they're already going to be exposed to all these toxins. Why don't we try to expose them to a little bit less, you know, in our home and throughout their life? So it's just something to definitely be aware of. So let's start with the fundamentals. So, you know, as you see on the wellness pyramid, on the bottom is eat right. I don't care how many times you try to get past this, it's not going anywhere. You have to eat right to really achieve true health. And, you know, before essential oils, I was really, you know, I was doing pretty good at both of these. I ate right, you know, for the most part, and I exercised. But really, as you go on up the pyramid, that's when I started really using essential oils for these things. Rest to manage stress and the reduced toxic load. I didn't, you know, I always knew that I should, but I didn't really know how. I was trying, but I didn't know. But I feel like essential oils really help me in these areas. And informed self-care and proactive medical care, you know, that's where these really play a large role in really helping us with these things. And I feel like essential oils can be a great proactive thing that we can do to, you know, help us from getting ill. So which path will you choose? Will you choose the Band-Aid of just, you know, going to the doctor, getting a pill and just covering up the symptoms, or will you really get to the root cause and really try to, you know, get your body back to where it needs to be? So why essential oils? Like I was saying, they've really been used for centuries. I feel like a lot of people think that essential oils are just a fad right now. And, you know, it can seem like that. I can definitely see where somebody would think that. You know, if you go in Walmart and see essential oils, you're like, wow, they're kind of getting mainstream. And, you know, that's great, though. I think we're finally realizing that, you know, the essential oils, first of all, they actually work. That's why all these companies are starting to make them, because they truly do work if you buy the right kind, if you get the right pure plant magic that doTERRA offers. But, you know, they've been around for centuries. You know, we hear about them in the Bible. You know, we can study about them there. And, you know, they're not the exact same thing we have today because we have different distillation methods, but they are from the same trees and things like that. So these have been around forever. And a lot of the other world outside of America still use these. They still turn to these first. It's really helped without side effects. There's very, very little side effects with essential oils other than some minor skin irritations if you don't dilute properly. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's what I love about essential oils. There are very, very few side effects. They are 50 to 7 times more potent than herbs, and they have a huge spectrum of application. I mean, just for instance, lavender probably can be used 300 different ways. You know, it's great to have that one thing that can be used for so many different applications. I love that. And you know, a lot of times you only need 1 drop, which, you know, if you're thinking about a bottle that contains 280 to 300 drops, that bottle's going to last you a long time. You know, so I think that a lot of people just think they're going to, you know, they don't really know how to use them. So they're like, wow, this bottle's small. But really, if you only need 1 to 2 drops, they're going to last a good long time. And they're affordable. You know, if you look at these versus, you know, even going to the doctor, paying that copay, going to the pharmacy, paying another copay, they're very affordable when you look at it from that standpoint. But just thinking about what all you can do with them. You know, you can clean, you can, you know, make your own DIY products. You can obviously, you know, prevent a lot of those things having to go to the doctor. So if you look at it from that standpoint, they're definitely affordable. And with an honest brand, you have pure plant magic. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So what are essential oils? Well, they're natural aromatic compounds, and they're found in the seeds, leaves, peel, stem, bark of plants. So as you can see if you're looking at the slideshow, on the peppermint, that's actually a zoomed in picture of a peppermint leaf. And what it is the oil sac in white right there, that actually contains the essential oil of the plant. And what they do is they steam distill this down, and the essential oil rises to the top, and they skim that off, and that is what, you know, we can purchase in the bottle. So, you know, thinking about how potent they are, I think in relationship to an herb is the whole plant powdered down and put into a capsule or a tea. So a lot of times we think, you know, for stomach discomfort, for instance, you know, if you were to drink peppermint tea, you'd have to drink 28 cups to equal 1 drop of peppermint. So, you know, I don't really think I would want to drink 28 cups if I had some stomach upset. You know, I'd want to apply 1 drop of peppermint. That's just way faster, easier, and you get the desired results very quickly. So how do they work? Let's go back to organic chemistry for a moment. I, for one, loved organic chemistry, but I know a lot of people don't, but you know, just a little bit on how they work, because I feel like this is important to know. So your whole body works on chemistry, and there's really 3 main segments that essential oils are categorized in. One is the phenols, and these sort of clean the receptor sites. And these are some of the hotter oils per se, and we'll talk about what a hot oil is in just a minute. But oregano, cinnamon, peppermint, clove, those are some of the phenols. The next category is sesquiterpenes, and these are sort of known as the police. So once the phenols go in and clean the receptor sites, the sesquiterpenes can go enter the cell and help erase gargled or misread informations. And, you know, in our body, there's a lot of stuff going on that we really have no idea about. You know, a lot of people don't know anything about organic chemistry, but, you know, this is sort of a bird's eye view on how essential oils work. And really everything in our body communicates through our cells. So when we eat things, you know, that aren't good for us, such as, you know, I mean, different kind of packaged foods or anything with chemicals and things like that, they actually go onto our cell and stick in that receptor site, and nothing else can work through that cell. So what this does is it kind of goes in and cleans out those cells so that they can work properly like they're supposed to. And the last category is monoterpenes. And these are the ultimate doctor. So they help to reset the DNA to factory settings per se. And this helps our cells communicate better. And some of the ones in this category is grapefruit, orange, lemon, like a lot of the citrus oils, and frankincense. And really, if you have a drop of essential oil that is cleansing your body at the deepest level. So you can see how using these can really help your health take a dramatic shift for the better. Okay, so how do we use these? The first way, and it's a very popular way, is aromatic. And the best way to do this really is, through a diffuser, which is something that's very easy to do. You just add water to it, add the essential oils, and just turn it on. So it's one of the best ways to really get a prolonged to get the oils in the environment and around you for a prolonged period of time. So if you turn it on for 2 hours, the oils are going to be going for that long. Versus if you apply something topically, it's probably going to get absorbed and not, in about 30 minutes. So this is a great way to get, prolonged use of the essential oils. And they really impact mood quite significantly. When we breathe in a pure plant oil that has no junk in it, it has a very powerful effect on the limbic system. And the limbic system really regulates the hormones, your mood, your memory. It can even regulate your blood pressure and heart rate. So you can see how this can really affect, have a great effect on you. Excuse me. It also opens up airways and cleanses the environment. So, it's a great thing to do if you have any kind of stuffiness going on at night. I like to diffuse breathe, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And also one of the protective blends called On Guard is a really good one to diffuse, if you have any kind of sickness going on in the house, because what it does is it releases them in the air, and they're suspended in air, and they can actually kill the molecules or the pathogens that are floating around. So that's a great thing to have in your home going, rather than a candle too. Obviously these smell really good, so that will be a great replacement for that. Another way to use them aromatically also is just put them in your hands, rub your palms together and cup to your nose and just inhale that way. I love to do that if I'm obviously not around a diffuser, just to get the benefits of them. So the next way is topical. And this one is probably the most used, I would say, a topical application. And I think, when I first started using essential oils, I was like, I just don't understand how these are going to work if I just rub them on my skin. Like, I was really confused, like many of you probably are, because you've never really, used essential oils much. And, but really, if you apply essential oils to your body, they actually get absorbed through your skin because the molecules are so tiny, and they can get in your bloodstream and work within 30 seconds. They can serve, it's said that they can service every cell in your body within a minute, which you can see how that would be. Obviously, you would get the desired results that you want because it, it gets throughout your body so quickly. A great place to apply topically is your feet, because you have the largest pores all over your body are on your feet. So anytime, people are confused about where to apply them, if you apply them to your feet, they're always going to get absorbed in your bloodstream really quickly that way. And it's it's a great thing to do on kids too. A lot of times you can put socks on and they don't mess with their feet. So, that's a great place to put them. However, if you're having some stomach upset or head tension, you could put them on your stomach or on your temples, and they get absorbed and are, to the localized area really quickly that way. The last way is internal, and this is sort of a way to support your body on a very deep level. So, anytime I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something, I'll definitely try to take some oils internally to really get, help my body fight off whatever's coming on. I love to put some of the protective blend On Guard in if I'm having some throat discomfort. I just like to gargle with that. You can swish it around your mouth and just swallow, and it has a good numbing effect, so it really helps your throat. My husband loves to do this all the time. There's great cleansing protocols that you can do to really help rid your body of, built up toxins. Great ways to take these internal would obviously be just to put them in some water. Some of them, however, do not taste that great. So I like to put them in a veggie cap, which is just a gel capsule that you can pop the top off of. You can put the oils in them and just pop the top back on and take it like a regular capsule. And, that's a really easy and convenient way to do that. You can also just drop them under your tongue. I love adding citrus oils to my water every day. Just, add a few drops, give it a shake, and you've got a great, that tastes great, but it's also giving you the different benefits of that particular oil. So we'll go over safety for just a minute. And I feel like this is really important. A lot of people that purchase oils feel like they just want to make sure they use them correctly. And, these are very safe things to use, but you also want to make sure that you are using safety, especially on young kids, because they can cause skin sensitivity. So I recommend for kids, and sorry, let me back up. So a carrier oil, obviously you see that on the screen. So what is a carrier oil? It's just another oil that has larger molecules. So, essential oils have very tiny molecules and they're very aromatic. So if we put them with something that has a larger molecule like coconut oil or olive oil or something like that, it actually grounds the oil and keeps them, from evaporating so quickly. So for kids, I like to say 1 drop of essential oil per teaspoon or tablespoon, depending if it's like a newborn, I would say tablespoon of carrier oil. Because really you're not diluting it per se, you're really just dispersing it, and helping it not to evaporate. So you just can get it on a larger area of your body too, which is nice sometimes, depending on what you're using it for. For adults, I like to say 1 to 2 drops per 1 teaspoon of carrier oil. And you obviously don't want to apply these to any body entry points, which would be your eyes, your ears, your nose, things like that. And always wash your hands afterwards. Less is more of these. Obviously, we just talked about they're very potent. So, and 2, like your body knows how to use these so well. If you were looking at it versus, a pharmaceutical, those are meant to last longer in the body because it takes your body longer to break those down. Your body knows exactly what to do with oil. So they're going to use them up quicker. So we need to apply these every 2 to 3 hours, especially if you're coming down with something. And versus like every 4 to 6 hours, like you might think, of taking something else. So if you just get in that mindset of applying less more frequently throughout the day, that will do your body better. And like I said, these are volatile. So it's said that if we just put a drop of essential oil in your palm without anything on it, it will actually evaporate probably 80 to 85% of that essential oil. So, that's definitely another reason to dilute so that you can get all the benefits of the oil. Okay, if essential oils, then why doTERRA? So we'll go over a little bit about why I chose doTERRA and why I think it's the best essential oil company out there. So sourcing is one of the main things that doTERRA does that really sets them apart. So as you'll see on your screen, we source oils from all over the world. And, a lot of these oils you can grow in the United States. Even if you just got a plot of land, you could probably grow, most of these oils. But if you go out and source them from where they grow in the wild or where they grow indigenously, the soil conditions are different. The air conditions, the altitude, the rainfall, everything is different. So that's really going to affect when you're looking at the minute differences that can happen when you distill the essential oil down into its potent form. It really makes a huge difference in the therapeutic quality and benefits that these oils can give us. And so doTERRA goes out to basically the ends of the earth to find the absolute best essential oil, whichever one they're looking for. The global impact that essential oils will have. So I truly feel like, and it's been said that every home in America, or really in the world probably, will have essential oils in the next 3 to 5 years because, they do work so well and people are starting to catch on that they honestly do. So, that's going to have a huge impact on our economy. We have to do this sustainably. And I feel like doTERRA is definitely taking steps in the right direction. They started co-impact sourcing, which is really when they go to these remote places, a lot of them do not have, schools, houses, running water, things like that. And so what they really do is try to help them create a better community, around where they're at, so that the people benefit. Obviously, we benefit from the product and the plants. We're getting them from the best place on earth, and we're actually paying a higher price for them than most other companies will pay. So basically, everybody is benefiting in this, and it's really creating a great, economy for the future. And the last thing is testing. So once the plant is harvested until we buy the bottle, there's 7 levels of testing that go on. You know, there's some that happen at the actual distillery, and then there's some that happen at third-party locations, back at doTERRA. So, you know, that's a lot of testing. So that ensures you that when you buy a bottle of essential oil from doTERRA, you know that there's only 100, not 100%, because nothing in nature can be 100%, but it is pure essential oil. There's no fillers, there's no chemicals. These are actually beyond organic. A lot of people ask me, why don't they put that they're organic? Actually, because they're beyond organic. There's a lot of flaws in the USDA organic, you know, that we see the stamp on our food. And these are actually beyond organic because, you know, they're sourced from where they grow indigenously. Obviously, there's no chemicals put on them. You know, all the air conditions and different things like that are perfect. So that's why they are actually beyond organic. So I wanted to go over the different grades of essential oils really quickly. So as you can see, the biggest grade is synthetic, and most of us have these in our own home now. That would be, you know, fragrance products. So any kind of like scented body wash, scented lotion, Glade plug-ins, which, side note, these are that is one of the most toxic things you can have in your home, because it is said that fragrance is like secondhand smoke because it can be so damaging to you. So if you have any of those, throw them out. I'm just kidding. But really, you got to think about what you're exposing you and yourself and your family to. So that's kind of the first grade. The second is food, and this would be like cinnamon and gum or lemon and salad dressing, something like that. The third category is therapeutic, and this is what you would find at like a health food store or Walmart, like I was talking about. So the FDA does not regulate these, and so really they only have to contain a very small portion of actual pure essential oil in the bottle. So that's why you can buy a bottle of lavender for, you know, $5, a huge bottle, and you're going to pay $20 for doTERRA for a lot smaller bottle. That's because, you know, they contain very little of the actual product in there, and it's of course not to the standards that doTERRA has. So that's why the price is so much different. And these can actually be very toxic if used in the wrong, you know, applications. And we were talking about internal. You know, when I'm talking about internal use, only doTERRA, because a lot of these things, like I said, can be very toxic if, you know, ingested, and also if put on your skin as well. So doTERRA, you know, is CPTG, that's Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and this is a kind of like a stamp of approval, or like a, you know, doTERRA really made this up. A lot of people are like, well, doTERRA just made it up. Well, they really did, because there was no other standard. You know, this is their stamp of approval to say, we've gone to these remote places. We have tested our oil. You know, we know exactly what's in it, and that's the standard that we uphold. And so they made that so that every bottle that you buy has the CPTG label on it, so that you know that has been tested that many times, and you have no, you know, I guess, hesitations about using it on yourself and your family, because you know the quality and standards that they have. So before we get to talking about the oils, I wanted to mention a few resources that I love. And I feel like, you know, once you get these into your home, it's really important to have these at your fingertips, because you're going to wonder, you know, what to use when you have certain things come up. So these are the resources that I recommend. Modern Essentials and The Essential Life are 2 books. I think the Modern Essentials has an app too, so if that's something you like, you can definitely download that. And aromaticscience.com is something that you can go to that has a little bit more of a scientific base to it. And, excuse me, I think there's actually some different modules you can take to learn more about the science behind essential oils, so that's really neat. And most of these Modern Essentials and The Essential Life can be purchased on Amazon, I believe. Okay, so let's jump right in and talk about the 10 most popular oils. So the first one is peppermint. And I feel like this is the only drawback of this webinar, is because you can't smell this. I mean, once you open up the bottle of peppermint, it is unreal. The whole room will smell like peppermint in a few seconds. This is to me, it's one of the most aromatic oils there is. And as you can see, you know, it's got listed some of the things to use it for. Some of the things that I love to use it for is if I have any tension in my temples or neck, I love to just put a few drops in my palm and just rub it, you know, trying to avoid my eyes, of course, because this is, like I said, a very aromatic oil, so sometimes that can burn, but I love to apply it there. it actually decreases core body temperature. So it's really great to use if, you know, if your little ones are struggling with that, you know, just to help support their body and really help their body to fight off whatever's going on, but also just keep the temperature at a good level. It's great for hot flashes as well. It can help decrease those. So this can also be taken internally to support any kind of digestive issue that you have going on. And, you know, you could just put a drop in some water. And, you know, that was one of the things we were talking about, the 1 drop versus the 28 cups of peppermint tea. So this can also, of course, be used for stomach discomfort. You can also bake with these. This is great in brownies. I love to use essential oils when I'm cooking. And lastly, I love to put like 10 or 12 drops in a big jar of water and use it as a mouthwash. And my husband actually started doing this a while ago, and he went to the dentist recently, and they were like, what have you been doing different? Like, your mouth is so much better. Just his oral health in general, they were just complimenting him on it, and he was, you know, telling him about this. And he also uses the On Guard toothpaste, and that's a really great way to support your health, oral health naturally. Lavender is the next one that we'll discuss, and I feel like this one is really sort of all things calming. So it can definitely be used to help support your body to get a restful night's sleep. It can also help with just calming yourself down, just anxious feelings that you might have, and just, you know, I don't know, your kids are screaming, going crazy, you know, rub some on them and yourself. You all calm down. I know that happens a lot in my house. It's great topically as well. It helps skin irritations. It can also help your skin recover more easily. So if you have a cut or something like that, you can put some lavender on it to help it just heal quicker. It's great for bug bites or stings or anything like that. Eczema. One of the main ways I like to use it is just to add to some Epsom salt and put it in the bath. It's like awesome. I just, you know, sometimes you just need to be by yourself and just, you know, relax. So I feel like that's one of the best ways to use it. Okay, so next is lemon, and this was probably my favorite one to start with. I used my bottle up in like so quick. I mean, I just love the way it smelled. I love putting it in my water. I use this one to clean a lot, so I feel like this is, you know, a cleansing oil for sure. And like I said, once I put it in my water, it really cleanses at a deeper level in your body. It's also very cleansing, like you can use it all over your house. It cleans grease really well. It's a great degreaser. It can, you know, take the goo off your, you know, kind of like a natural Goo Gone. I love to soak my fruits and vegetables in a couple drops of lemon, a big bowl of water, and some vinegar. You know, even though we buy organic produce, you know, there's still some chemicals on there, and there's a lot of, you know, some dirt and things like that. So you'll be surprised at what floats on top of the surface once you've, you know, soaked your vegetables in it for 15 or 20 minutes. It can also, you know, get gum out of hair. It can get black Sharpie marker out. It can take out old stains. So this one is a great one to clean with, and you know, like I said, all things cleansing. And, you know, thankfully it's one of the cheapest oils that doTERRA offers. It's only $10 a bottle. So we go through about a bottle a month at my house. The next oil is Melaleuca. And this is also known as tea tree oil, and a lot of people already use this in their home to clean with, or, you know, for different benefits. So a lot of people are familiar with this one. It is really great to repel any kind of bugs. So a lot of people like to use it in their shampoo, you know, just as a preventative, but also if you've got that note home from school that something might be going around, it's great to make a little spray to spray your kids' hair with. To just kind of give that extra protection. It's great to apply to any kind of bumps that come up on your skin. I also like to soak toothbrushes in this, or also On Guard, just to kind of clean them, because toothbrushes can get really nasty, and, you know, just so you don't have to keep buying new ones all the time. I like to soak mine about once a week in just some water and a couple drops of Melaleuca. And this one is really the oil of first aid. So anytime you have, you know, lavender is good for skin irritation to kind of calm. Well, Melaleuca is really good because it helps disinfect, you know, kind of, so I like to use them together, honestly. So, you know, any kind of cut or scrape, I'll put both of the oils on there because they both do different things. So they help it to, you know, stay clean, but also help it to heal faster. Oregano, it is one of the strongest oils. So this is like what I call the big gun oil. Like, I don't use it very often, but when I do, when I'm sick, I definitely want to have some oregano around because I know it's going to do its job and do it quickly. This one is one of the ones that I like to tell people there's no other oil besides this one that can really, if you use it longer for 10 days, it's so strong, your body just needs a break from it. But it's really great at what it does, like I said, but it is one of the stronger ones. It's definitely one that always needs to be diluted if you're using it topically. I love to use this one to cook with as well. A drop in a spaghetti is great. It's just great to use it for warts as well. You'll see, eliminate warts. But yeah, this one is one that you'll probably have the bottle for a while, but you'll definitely be glad that you have it around. So the next oil is frankincense, and it's known as the king of oils. And, I think we probably all are familiar with the name because, we probably heard it at Christmas. The wise men brought it to baby Jesus, frankincense and myrrh. And I never really knew that it was an essential oil. I always thought it was a fragrance. So it actually has a lot of benefits, and that's why they brought it to the baby and to Mary, because it can help in really a lot of things that go along with birthing a child. Hormones are out of balance. You're having all these anxious feelings. I feel like that's probably how Mary used it, and really how they use it on baby Jesus. Birth is a traumatic experience for a child, and to kind of bring them back, into this new world, frankincense can be a very great oil to help, ease into the newness that they can feel. So this one is very effective at promoting cellular health. So when used internally, it can help us, decrease the inflammation in our body. It's one of has the highest anti-inflammatory properties of any oil. It's also great at regenerating cells. So, if you have scars or stretch marks or, just to help with wrinkles or something like that, it's great to put in your moisturizer. It's also found in the world's best plant-based skin system, which is known as the Virage, which is something I love to use. It's definitely in that. And it's one of the more expensive oils. So this one is really good to get in one of the starter kits because it allows you to have some, but not have to just purchase a whole bottle at one time. It actually, is discounted in those. So we've been talking about single oil. So now we'll switch and talk about the different blends that doTERRA offers. So the first one is the Respiratory Blend. And this is great at supporting, very supportive to your breathing. It's also any kind of seasonal things that are going on. It's great for that. I love to diffuse this one at night, like I said. It's really great with lavender too because it can help with, stuffiness, and then the lavender helps you just get a deep, restful sleep at night. This one's also great applied just topically to the chest because you get those aromatic benefits, and of course you get the topical benefits too. So they actually make the vapor stick that is very easy to apply, and it already has the breathe in there in a nice little balm. So I love to use that on my kids. The next blend is Digestion, and it's the digestive blend. And this one is really just great for any kind of, stomach issues you have going on. It smells quite strongly of fennel, and that's one of the main components in there because it's so good for digestive health. And this one's one of the ones I like to use topically. I usually just put a few drops, in the carrier oil and apply to my stomach, and it really gets to work very quickly. If I've eaten something that's kind of heavy and it's just sitting on my stomach, you can kind of almost feel it break up the food and just help it, to digest better, within minutes. This is one of the ones that my husband loves to use. I'm like, you only need 1 or 2 drops, and he'll be in there just like dousing his stomach. So he definitely loves this one. Okay, On Guard is the next blend we'll discuss, and this is called the Protective Blend. This is one of the ones that I use a lot in my home. Just with 2 young kids, just trying to support their immune system with things they bring home and just keep the home, clean and maintain a healthy home. This is definitely one that, like I said, I use all the time. And they actually have a whole On Guard line in doTERRA. So just a few things that I love. I love the toothpaste. Of course, it has the On Guard and it gets those benefits, but it also doesn't have any fluoride. And, that's a whole nother topic, but they found that fluoride is not as beneficial as we once thought. So this is a nice natural form of support. for your mouth. I love the cleaning concentrate. The one bottle of the cleaning concentrate that has On Guard in it is actually only like $13, and you can make like 12 all-purpose cleaners with it. And you can really clean anything in your home with this. You know, I think it's great just to have like one thing to clean your whole house with. I never liked having to buy a bathroom cleaner and a kitchen cleaner and all this stuff. It's just, this makes it easier to me. I just like to have one thing I can go clean the whole house with. And this was one of the ones I mentioned to gargle with if you have some throat discomfort. It can really help with the numbing effects because it does have clove in it. And clove is actually has one of the highest antioxidant properties of anything found on earth. So this is one of the ones that can support your immune system and just really help it function at a higher level. I love to diffuse this one because, again, it helps clean the air and kill pathogens that might be floating around. So this is one that I use this, I'm sure, daily in many different areas. So Deep Blue is another one of doTERRA's blends, and it's a soothing blend. So if you have sore muscles or achy joints, like it says, it can really be great for that. You know, I didn't really, like, a lot of people compare it to like Bengay or something like that, but I never used Bengay, but I feel like I use this all the time. Like, you know, it's amazing how, like, you know, your neck will hurt, or you just have discomfort around your, midsection whenever you're going to start your cycle or something like that. This is great to help just sort of ease any kind of discomfort like that you have going on. And of course, my husband loves it. He'll be rubbing down in there with Deep Blue. And again, I'm like, you only need a little bit. He doesn't understand that, though, I don't think. Okay, so on to one of the supplements. This is the last thing that we'll talk about. This is called the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and this is doTERRA's vitamin pack, I guess you could call it. And this is their #1 selling product. Just to highlight a little bit of the things about what makes it different than a regular multivitamin per se, is that these formulas are actually bioavailable. And what that means is that they're actually in a form that your body can recognize and that it can put to use right away. So when we take synthetic multivitamins that we can get from, you know, the supermarket or whatever, your body really doesn't know what to do with those. So a lot of it just gets excreted out because your body can't use it. So, you know, what makes this great is this is actually, you know, the best balance of any multivitamin out there. There's a lot of ones that, you know, they don't have enough, and there's some that have like these mega vitamins that have way too much. So what doTERRA prides himself on is this is actually the perfect balance of all of these components that are in each one. So we'll talk about each one individually just for a second. There's the E-omega, and this is all the essential fatty acids that you need for your heart and your brain. That actually has 9 essential oils in them as well, which is good. You know, some days, you know, you might go without using essential oil, but at least you know that you're getting them in this pack. One of the main things that I noticed about the E-omega when I first started taking it was that I would get headaches every afternoon because my brain was fatigued from looking at the computer screen all day. And once I started taking these, like, I had no more headaches. I mean, it was unreal. I didn't know what was causing the headaches, but now looking back, I'm sure that's what it was. And so I just feel like I just could think more clear. You know, you just get that brain fog, and I feel like this really, really helps with that. The next component is the Microplex VMZ, and it's a whole food multivitamin. So it's powdered fruits and vegetables that your body can use right away. The last component is Alpha CRS, and it's called the Cellular Vitality Complex, and it has a ton of antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, but what it does is it works at a cellular level, and it actually works in the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria, and that's how it can create so much energy within the body. It actually works, you know, like I said, at a cellular level, so it can give you that prolonged energy without having to crash, you know, a couple hours later like you get from certain other energy supplements that you might take. And this one, like I said, you know, I noticed the difference with my headaches, but I also noticed how much more energy I had because, you know, before, I guess you don't really realize how much energy you don't have until you have that much energy. And you're like, holy crap, I don't have any. So I've been taking these for 3 years. And I can honestly tell if I go a day without taking them, I can tell a difference. And I had never, ever been able to say that about any other multivitamin. So I love these. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You know, some people are like, I just don't know if I'm going to like them. And doTERRA is kind enough to say, if you use all of them, you don't like them, we'll give you your money back. So you can send them back to empty bottles. All right, so after all that, I wanted to give you some simple next steps. So that's a lot of information, and I realize that it can be very overwhelming to take in all that information within an hour. So some simple things that you can do. Obviously, number one on my list is choose organic whole foods as much as possible. Or essential oils are not the cure-all. They are, one thing that you can use along with several other things to create the best health possible. Number two, have potent essential oils at your fingertips to use daily. These are something that I use every single day. And to get the best benefits from them, you do have to use them daily. Commit to being the health advocate in your own home. So as I was talking about, when we really know better, we do better. Now that you have this information, really, think about what can you do to be your own health advocate and really take your health to another level, and also those around you, everybody else in your home. And surround yourself with others who feel the same. And I feel this is really important. I can equate this as a Christian to going to church. I feel like we have to do that to get supported in our own, walk with God. And I feel like we have to get supported in our own, natural health life, because, there's a lot of people out there that don't feel the same that we do. They haven't seen the light yet. We need people that, can help us really figure out, not even essential oils, just natural health in general. There's so much that I've learned since I've joined this community. It's unreal, but it's all for the good. And I'm so glad that I made that choice 3 years ago. So getting started. So there's there's a few different ways to get started. So I'll go through two of my favorite enrollment kits. And so to kind of give you an overview about how doTERRA works. So there's a wholesale membership that you can get, and it's $35 a year. And this is very similar to a Sam's Club membership. So once you pay the $35, you get 25% off anything else you buy the entire year. There's no monthly minimum. It's just you get that off anything you purchase for a year. It's just, it's that simple. So you can either pay the $35 and add whatever products you want, or they came up with these starter kits that the price that you see will include the membership fee of $35, plus you'll get some off. Like they discount the products in those kits because they put them together for that reason. I like to tell people, I always recommend getting a kit because you have more things on hand for when you need them, and it always ends up being about the same amount or more to get the oils individually than to just get the kit. So that's just my opinion. You get access to a rewards program to earn free product. I can't tell you how awesome it is to get 70 points worth back every month to purchase free product. And after, as I've been doing as long as I have, I get 30% back every month. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but that's one of the very great benefits of doTERRA. They're very generous with their rewards program. Be a part of a team that provides amazing support and that can help you get the information you need to get started, and most importantly, to continue to be supported, because a lot of people get oils and they don't know what to do with them. They just are scared, or they just don't understand how to use them. And I feel like, if you join my wellness team, there's tons of support to help you get started and get you a plan going, and then continue to be supported in that. So I'll highlight two kits that are my favorite. The first one is the Home Essentials kit. And this one has all the oils that we talked about tonight in them. There's a list over there to the right, but these are probably obviously the 10 most popular oils, but it also comes with a diffuser, which I feel like is key. A lot of people don't get a diffuser sometimes at first, and they always wish they had, because when you see all these great diffuser blends and you want to try them, but you don't have one to try. So I feel like that's very important to get a diffuser to use. And these are actually, if you'll see on the picture, they're the bigger 15 ml bottles versus some of the other kits have the smaller 5 ml bottles. So those are the kind of differences between this kit and some of the other ones. The next kit that I like, and is the most popular, is the Natural Solutions kit. And this has a lot of the oils that we spoke about, but a lot more than that. See, it has something for hormonal support. It has some of the mood oils. It also has a larger diffuser that runs for a longer amount of time. It contains the vitamins. It has the toothpaste that I was talking about. It has the hand wash. It has some fractionated coconut oil. There's all kind of stuff in here. It has a cute little wooden box. So this is one of the most popular kits to get because it's kind of in the middle. You know, I can't go over every single kit they offer in this webinar, but I'll tell you where you can look at them if you want to. But these two are sort of in the middle as far as price and of products that you get. So these are definitely the ones that I love the most and the most popular. So a little bit more about the monthly loyalty rewards order. As I said, this is kind of like a frequent flyer mile type program. It is a monthly program. So, you know, you do have to purchase something monthly. You don't have to purchase a ton of somethings monthly. So if you purchase a lot one month and you only want one bottle of lemon the next month, then that's totally fine. They do reward you for purchasing monthly. You start out at earning 10% back. After 3 months, you go to 15%. And that's on top of your already 25% that you got with your membership. And then after a year, you go all the way to 30%. So that's a lot of points you'll get back every month to purchase free things. Below, I had listed some of my favorite products that aren't in the regular starter kits. Grapefruit, Intune, Wild Orange, and Balance. Those are all something I use every single day. The products that they offer, the On Guard Cleaning Concentrate, obviously the Lifelong Vitality Pack, the Barrage Skin System, and then the shampoo and conditioner is something that I use all the time. I love the shampoo and conditioner. I feel like it really changed how my hair looks and feels. And I used to have to always straighten my hair or blow dry it, you know, but now I can just let it dry normally. And like it used to be frizzy, and now it's not. I don't know what in the world, but I'm telling y'all, it's for real. And as a mom who wants to dry their hair like nobody, so it's awesome. Okay. So once you join, you will receive access to our private Facebook page. And this is somewhere that you can, you know, feel safe asking questions, look at what other people post. Just really, it's a great, you know, community of people. Plus, here's some different things from me if you join. I like to give away things that you can use with your oils versus more oil. So what I've put together is 3 roller bottles and some fractionated coconut oil. This is great, especially for moms if they, you know, want to dilute on their kids. You know, you don't have to get out every single oil if you want to, you know, apply them all the time. You just kind of use the roller bottle. It's way easier. 1 spray bottle to make your own cleaner. 3 samples of your choice of oil that are not in the kit that you purchased. And 30 minutes to talk with me. This is just to go over what you get with your membership, what you want to use your oils for, answer any questions, and really set, you know, kind of the tone for where you want to go and do a 90-day, you know, goal as far as like, you know, where you want to be in your health or what do you want to incorporate the oils with. So I feel like that's very important in getting started. And I can't go without mentioning this. Obviously, I said that I used to be a full-time pharmacist, and now I just do this, which is beyond a blessing. So, you know, if that's something that you're interested in, you know, there's going to be some people on here that, you know, may be already in the healthcare field, but there might be somebody that just really doesn't like their job and they're looking for something else. And I'll tell you, I didn't know that this was my something else, but it definitely has turned out to be. And so I love to help other people kind of get started. You know, we have weekly webinars on our team. You know, I provide mentor calls with anybody that's interested in this. And, you know, we have a thriving community of like-minded people. So I feel like it's a great thing to be a part of. And I've definitely been very blessed by it. So that is it. I hope I kept it. Yeah, I kept it right about an hour. Yeah. So thank you very much for attending. I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule. Like I said, I hope you learned something. You know, this is really about education. You know, if you feel like this is for you and you want to get some product, that's great. But I just really hope that you learned something. I hope that this made you maybe think about something differently. If you have any questions, there's my email and my phone number. I'll be available to take phone calls or texts for the next hour. If you want to join, but you really don't know what you want, or you have any questions at all, if you know what you want, you can go ahead and join. There's my website. You can go to that and just click join up at the top. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'm going to stay around here for just a few minutes, but I'll leave that up so that you guys can get my phone number or my site. Oops, I just took it down. Sorry. Let me stop. There we go. Well, stop share. There we go. All right, does anybody have any questions? Nobody in the chat box. Well, thank you guys for getting on. I hope you learned something, and really, let me unmute. Well, you can unmute yourself if you want to say something. I don't want to unmute everybody, and you have a lot of background noise or don't want to be.